You're listening to Loopit Radio, hosted by Alex and Sandra.
Welcome back to The Deep Dive. This is where we take some of the world's, most potent ideas and really boil them down into knowledge you can actually use, give you that leverage. And today, wow, the source material you've given us is laser focused. It's all centered around this really uncompromising philosophy, success, how you use your time, personal growth.
Yeah. And specifically drawing from the experiences and, the often very direct advice of Jack Ma.
Right. The entrepreneur, the motivator.
Exactly. And our mission today, it's not just about basic productivity hacks. We want to go deeper.
Deeper.
We're aiming to pull out the real core stuff, the actionable nuggets that don't just tell you what to do, but actually challenge how you fundamentally see your most valuable asset.
Which is time.
Yeah, it's a tough philosophy, no doubt about it, but the sources argue it really works.
Okay, let's dive right in then, because the whole thing really hinges on this central idea, which is kind of surprising when you first think about it. The equality of time. Mena insists it's the ultimate level playing field. I mean, think about it. Jeff Bezos, a student just starting out, someone really struggling financially.
Doesn't matter.
You all get exactly 24 hours a day. Time, it just doesn't discriminate.
And what's really fascinating there, I think, is just how neutral that resource is. Time genuinely doesn't care about your bank balance or who your parents were or your network or, how many times you failed before.
None of it.
It's the great equalizer, but, and this is the key part, it's probably the most misunderstood piece of the success puzzle.
Okay, but then, bam, you hit the immediate paradox. And this is where the source material gets, pretty amusing, but also, frankly, a bit uncomfortable for anyone listening.
It makes you look in the mirror.
Totally. If everyone gets the exact same 24 hours, why are some people systematically, day in, day out, spending that time getting richer, healthier, smarter? Well, the vast majority you're spending it on.
Well, highly distracting, trivial stuff.
We have to mention the quote here. It's just too good. Activities like learning how to make noodles with firecrackers.
Right. And the absurdity of that is obviously intentional. It's meant to shock you into realizing something.
What's that?
That the huge difference between massive success and just staying stuck isn't the amount of time you have. Everyone's got the same. It's the disciplined way you use it. It's the focus, the intention behind those 24 hours.
So choosing the hard stuff versus the easy stuff.
Exactly. The successful are picking the difficult, growth-focused tasks. The stuck are picking the easy, entertaining distractions. It's a choice every day.
And to really get the almost existential urgency in Ma's philosophy, you have to remember where he came from, his personal story.
Absolutely critical context.
He started with literally zero advantages. Famously failed exams over and over.
Yeah, he even joked about it, right? That he thought fail was just part of his name. Jack Fail Ma.
Exactly. No money, no connections, terrible grades. The only thing he actually possessed was time.
And that history, that constant failure early on, that's the engine driving his entire view on time. His realization back then was, frankly, chilling.
Which was?
If I don't figure out how to use this one free resource I have, time wisely, then poverty isn't just a possibility. It's basically guaranteed. It's my destination.
Wow.
That intense personal context, it frames absolutely everything else he talks about regarding time and effort. So that leads us straight into what the source material presents as the core axiom, really, of self-improvement. It's a stark choice, it's unavoidable, and it's one that you, the listener, you face it every single day.
Okay, lay it out for us.
Are you spending your time actually improving your fundamental self, your skills, your knowledge, your mindset? Or are you mainly spending your time making someone else richer while you basically stay the same?
Oof. That's a blunt way to put it, but necessary, according to this philosophy.
Sure.
He states it clearly. If you don't set aside focused time to get better, whether that's learning a technical skill, building mental toughness, understanding your market better,
whatever it is,
then you will always, always work for someone who does prioritize that self-improvement, by definition.
And look, there's absolutely dignity and necessity in working for others. That's not the point.
Right.
But if your ultimate aim is freedom, maybe independence, maybe starting something transformative in your own life, and we figure it probably is, if you're tuning into a deep dive like this,
Hit point.
then you have to shift that dynamic. You must become the person who gets paid because of the self-improvement they invested in years ago.
It's about playing the long game.
Precisely. And this inherent danger, this risk of stagnation, is why Ma insists, really hammers home, that time must be respected infinitely more than money.
It's interesting. We panic about losing money, but we just throw away hours like they're nothing. Why that huge difference in respect?
Well, think about it. Money is, fungible. You can lose it. You can make it back. A bad investment today, a lost client, even bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Theoretically, you can recover. A successful venture tomorrow can make up for it. Money lost can be regained.
Okay, makes sense. But time.
Time lost. Poof. Gone. It is irreversible. There is absolutely, positively no rewind button.
He uses that great analogy.
The Microsoft Word one.
Yeah. You can't press pause on life, my friend. This is not Microsoft Word. It's so visual.
It really is. And that feeling, that absolute finality, knowing every minute you spend is gone forever, subtracted from your total potential life, that should be your biggest motivator, more than anything else.
Okay, so if time is that critical, that final, this realization crashes head-on into one of the most popular, maybe most worshipped concepts today, work-life balance.
Ah, yes, balance. Man apparently has strong feelings about this.
He rejects it pretty strongly, doesn't he? Especially during what he sees as the critical growth phase, usually your 20s and 30s.
It does.
Wait a second, though. Let me push back on the source material here a bit. Isn't that kind of dangerous advice? We hear constantly about burnout, mental health.
It's a fair question, a really important one.
If you preach just relentless urgency, reject balance completely, aren't you just setting people up to crash and burn by 30? Did the sources give any nuance here? Any limits?
Yeah, that's crucial. And his response is actually quite contextual. He's not saying never enjoy life. He's challenging the timing, the premature hunt for balance.
Okay.
He tackles it directly. He poses this really confronting question. What are you balancing?
Ouch again.
Are you balancing poverty and laziness?
So his point is, you haven't earned balance yet.
Kind of. He argues most people seeking balance early on are really just trying to balance the discomfort of hard work with the immediate pleasure of, slacking off. In his own crucial decades, he didn't have balance. He had urgency. He knew his starting point demanded way more effort than average.
Got it. So urgency becomes this necessary daily self-talk. Like, if I don't get better today, I will absolutely be stuck tomorrow.
Exactly. It's acknowledging that nobody's coming to rescue you. No government handout, no magic investor. Your only real path to freedom is through relentless self-improvement and building skillful habits.
Which leads us right to this core consequence of how you allocate time.
Yeah.
What the sources call the preparation versus partying contrast.
Yes. Mack contrasts how those who stagnate use their time versus those who really accelerate.
Let's play out this scenario he describes because it's quite detailed in the notes we have. You're in your 20s, maybe things are tight financially, but hey, you decide you've earned a break this weekend.
Right.
So you're going out, clubbing, enjoying the moment, maybe, as Matt puts it, over-celebrating what is currently an average life.
Yeah.
You feel you deserve the rest because you put in your 8 hours Monday to Friday.
Okay, standard weekend for many. Now, at the exact same time, look at what the sources say the ultra-successful are doing during those same 48 hours.
What are they doing? Not clubbing, I presume.
Definitely not. They're not chasing immediate comfort. The sources give specific examples. Jeff Bezos isn't binge-watching Netflix. He's probably reading dense academic papers on complex systems or maybe quantum computing.
Why? What's he looking for?
Not entertainment. Leverage. He's hunting for that one idea, that one insight that could give Amazon a 5-year edge over competitors.
Okay, or Elon Musk.
Not just chillin'. He is likely deep into detailed technical videos about rocket propulsion, maybe physics, maybe neuroscience. He's connecting dots between different fields. That's knowledge synthesis, trying to shave years off development time for SpaceX or Tesla.
Right, and Oprah.
Another example given. Maybe not literally on a beach every weekend. More likely, she's interviewing psychologists, philosophers, experts on human behavior, constantly honing her grasp of emotional intelligence, communication, human connection.
The very things her empire is built on.
Precisely. They are preparing. You are partying. That difference, repeated week after week, year after year, that's the preparation gap.
And the consequence is pretty stark. One group is constantly upgrading their complex knowledge, focusing on future-oriented, high-value ideas.
While the other group is seeking immediate, temporary fun and basically staying put.
Yeah, and the sources really hammer this home, concluding something like, that's why one group eventually includes billionaires, and the other group Well, maybe you're still hunting for free Wi-Fi at Starbucks
Yeah.
or stressing about rent.
It's not meant as a moral judgment, you understand. It's presented as a direct, logical consequence of how you invest your time.
It really boils down to delaying gratification, doesn't it? May isn't saying never have fun.
No, not at all.
He's saying work your tail off now so you can truly rest later. If you prioritize rest now, you're almost guaranteeing you'll face the consequences of stagnation later. That ability to delay gratification seems to be the secret weapon in bridging that preparation gap.
Absolutely. It's foundational to this whole approach. Okay, so we've talked about the amount of time and the intention behind it. Now we need to shift focus a bit to utility. What's the actual quality of the things you're spending your time learning?
Right, because you could spend 24 hours learning something useless, like the firecracker noodles.
Exactly. So the source material pushes the listener towards this really severe, but I think necessary evaluation, a kind of real-world survival check. We're calling it the market value test.
The market value test, okay. Sounds intense.
It is. It's designed to strip away any illusions of security you might get from, say, formal institutions or specific platforms. It asks some brutal but very relevant questions for today's economy.
Okay.
Question 1. If your boss fired you today, like right now based purely on the skills and network you currently possess, could you actually survive comfortably for the next 6 months?
Wow.
Could you find new work relatively quickly because your skills are demonstrably valuable in the open market?
Okay, that's sobering. Question 2.
This one's for anyone in the digital world, which is almost everyone now. If Instagram or Google or whatever single platform you heavily rely on for your income or your brand, if it just vanished tomorrow, poof, does your business still exist?
Are your core assets tied to the platform, or are they actual skills that work anywhere?
Precisely. Are they platform dependent or rooted in abilities that transcend specific tech?
And the third one. This one sounds like it hits education.
Yeah, perhaps the most jarring one, especially for people who put huge stock in formal education. If somehow magically your university degree was erased, that piece of paper, the certificate, just gone, could you still bring clear, distinct value to the marketplace based only on what you can demonstrably do, your real-world abilities?
Ouch. These questions really force you to confront the difference between perceived security and actual capability.
That's the whole point. School gives you the certificate, the paper. It can create an illusion of security. But life, the market, the economy, they don't ultimately care about the paper.
They care about what you can do.
They care about demonstrable, durable, transferable skills that actually solve problems or create value.
Okay, so what are these skills then? According to the sources, what are the foundational things that give you real professional freedom, no matter the industry?
Ma highlights 3 core skills. He argues if you possess these, you'll never be truly stuck, never fundamentally broke.
All right, number 1.
Knowing how to sell. He says, if you know how to sell, you'll never be broke. And this isn't just about, like, selling used cars or widgets.
Right, it's broader.
Much broader. Selling is the ability to articulate value, to persuade, to negotiate, to communicate why something, an idea, a service, yourself is worthwhile. Pitching an idea, selling a service online, negotiating a raise, it's all applied communication. It's selling.
Makes sense. Skill number 2.
Knowing how to write. If you know how to write, you'll always find a way.
Why writing specifically?
Uh-huh.
Seems a bit old school maybe.
Not at all. Think about it. Writing is thinking made visible. If you can write clearly, it forces you to think clearly.
Ah, I see.
You can articulate complex ideas, craft compelling proposals, influence people through reasoned arguments, turn chaos into a coherent strategy. Even now, with AI writing tools everywhere.
Yeah.
The quality of the AI's output depends entirely on the quality of your thinking, which is revealed first in your ability to frame the problem or formulate a clear prompt or idea. Writing clarifies thought.
Got it. Powerful. And the third skill.
Knowing how to think. This is the big one, the synthesis skill. It's the ability to analyze complex problems, pull together information from different places, see patterns, and innovate solutions.
Critical and creative thinking.
Exactly. If you know how to think critically and creatively, you will always create value. It doesn't matter if robots or AI take over routine tasks. These 3, sell, write, think, Ma, argues they're essentially automation-proof.
Sell, write, think. Okay, so if these are so crucial,
Yeah.
How do you learn them, especially if you're past formal schooling?
Well, here's the really good news. The powerful counterpoint to, say, the huge expense of university.
What is it?
These foundational skills, they are basically free to learn. The information isn't locked away in some ivory tower.
You mean online resources?
Absolutely. YouTube, Google, public libraries, MOCs, massive open online courses from top universities. Free courses are everywhere. The barrier today is almost never access to information.
So what is the barrier then? If learning these wealth-building, freedom-creating skills is free,
No.
why aren't most people mastering them?
That brings us squarely to the real modern obstacle, what the sources call the distraction trap.
The distraction trap.
A barrier isn't lack of time, remember? Everyone gets the same 24 hours. The barrier is distraction.
Our phones, social media.
Specifically, the relationship we cultivate with constant, immediate, endless entertainment. Yes, the sources point directly at it. Your relationship with Netflix, your relationship with TikTok or Instagram Reels, the endless doom scrolling.
So every time you catch yourself saying, oh, I just don't have time to learn coding or practice writing or study that market.
This philosophy tells you, check your screen time report. The simple, maybe harsh truth is often, you're not tired, you're just distracted. You're consistently choosing low-value input over potentially high-leverage learning.
It's an active choice, even if it feels passive.
It is. And this realization leads to a really powerful, actionable formula, a way to break that distraction cycle.
What is it?
Spend just 1 hour a day. That's it, 1 hour. Learning something new and genuinely challenging maybe one of those 3 core skills or a technical skill relevant to your field.
This 1 hour consistently.
Consistently. Do that, and in 1 year, you'll have invested roughly 365 hours into specialized knowledge. That investment means you will be smarter, more capable, and more valuable than probably 99% of your friends who just maintain the status quo.
It's like compound interest for your brain.
Exactly. An exponential return on a relatively tiny, consistent daily investment.
But this urgency, it's not just about getting ahead personally, is it?
Yeah.
The sources suggest it's also about basic professional survival now.
Absolutely. You have to internalize what the sources call the downward escalator metaphor.
Okay, explain the downward escalator.
This metaphor, it just beautifully captures the insane speed of technological change right now. The world is moving fast.
AI, blockchain.
Right. Artificial intelligence capabilities are leaping forward almost daily. Blockchain is changing finance. Robotics is automating jobs. Digital transformation is shaking up literally every industry.
So picture yourself standing on an escalator that's moving down.
Exactly. If you just stand still doing nothing, are you maintaining your position?
No, you're going down. Relative to the floor, you're losing ground.
You're effectively regressing. You might feel comfortable just standing there, but the rest of the world at the pace of change is zooming past you, downwards.
Wow, okay. That's a powerful image.
Therefore, the conclusion is, if you are not actively growing, actively learning, actively climbing that escalator, taking steps upward every single day, you are falling behind. Standing still equals guaranteed failure in this environment.
So inaction isn't neutral, it's decline.
Precisely. The only way to move up, the only way to create success and gain leverage is to climb. Every single day, even small steps. You must invest that 1 hour because doing nothing isn't really a choice. It's choosing a rapid decline.
Okay, so this idea of climbing every day, taking those steps on the downward escalator, that leads us right into the principle of consistency, doesn't it?
Directly. The source material really emphasizes this. Success, real lasting success, it's almost never about one single giant leap. It's about the small, often boring, repetitive steps you take every single day. Without fail.
So it chips your whole mindset. Instead of aiming for these massive, overwhelming goals like, I'm going to read 50 books this month, which just sets you up for failure.
Right, it's paralyzing.
You focus on attainable, non-negotiable daily actions. You don't need to devour the whole library today. Just commit to reading 10 pages. You don't need to become a millionaire overnight. Focus on saving, maybe investing just $10 a day. The key factor isn't how impressive the action looks today.
It's the unwavering consistency, doing it day after day after day.
Okay, now this leads into what might be the most counterintuitive, maybe even radical strategy in this whole philosophy.
Well, yes. This one really challenges conventional wisdom.
Stop chasing excitement. Start learning to embrace boredom.
Exactly. Stop chasing excitement. Start embracing boredom.
That sounds wrong. We're conditioned by social media, movies. Success is supposed to be thrilling, Constant breakthroughs, eureka, moments, high energy all the time.
That's the myth. Moss insists, and the sources strongly argue, the exact opposite is true. The real magic, the actual foundation of durable structural success, it happens when nobody is watching.
Okay.
It happens when you are plugging away at tasks that are fundamentally boring, tedious, maybe even mind-numbing, but necessary.
Can we use Ma's own story as an example here?
Yeah.
Like his English skills. That was a huge advantage for him.
Perfect example. How did he get so good at English? Starting from basically nothing in China back then. It wasn't some exciting whirlwind trip abroad.
Yeah.
It was the daily, grinding, tedious repetition, memorizing vocabulary lists, forcing himself to practice basic phrases with tourists on the street, probably feeling awkward, keeping journals in English, reading books that were way too hard for him at the time.
Just grinding it out.
Totally. Success, he argues, came directly from doing those boring things over and over and over again. He actually lists the activities that built Alibaba in the early days, and they sound incredibly unglamorous.
Like what?
Writing and rewriting complicated business emails until the message was absolutely crystal clear, manually learning obscure English vocabulary related to international trade, reading dry, dense business books, practicing presentations alone, talking to a mirror again and again.
Wow. Not exactly sexy stuff.
Not at all. But those are the foundational repetitive tasks that build deep, durable expertise. They're like the daily weightlifting reps for your brain, for your skills.
Okay, so this leads to this critical framework you mentioned earlier, the boring, exciting paradox.
Yes, this is the core differentiator, the sources argue, between people who achieve real, lasting freedom and those who just stay stuck in mediocrity.
Let's break down the boring, exciting paradox. How does it work?
Okay, let's use an analogy to make it really clear. Think about an Olympic athlete. Maybe a high jumper.
Okay.
Their training for years consists of incredibly boring, repetitive drills, right? Waking up super early, endless stretching routines, repetitive sprints, counting every single calorie. Nobody's watching the 4 a.m. practice session in the rain.
Right, that's the grind.
That boring, highly disciplined, repetitive action is the input.
And the output.
The output is the exciting moment, the medal ceremony, maybe breaking a world record, the crowd roaring, the celebration, the endorsements, the financial rewards, the global recognition. That's the excitement.
I see the connection. Boring input, exciting output.
Exactly. So the paradox is this. If you can master the discipline needed to do the boring things consistently, the daily writing, the deliberate practice, the early wake-ups, the budgeting, the studying your life, eventually will become incredibly exciting, defined by growth, opportunities, breakthroughs.
Okay, and the flip side.
Conversely, if you only chase the exciting things, the immediate dopamine hit from social media, the temporary distraction, the party tonight, the endless stream of entertainment, your life ultimately becomes profoundly boring. It gets defined by monotony, by stagnation, by a lack of real growth, and often by the relentless, dull cycle of just getting by, maybe economic struggle.
So the exciting input leads to a boring life.
The exciting input creates the boring life. The boring input creates the exciting life. Understanding and acting on that distinction, the sources claim, is absolutely crucial for you, the listener.
Okay, so if embracing the boring stuff is key, how do we actually do that? How do we force ourselves into that necessary discipline when, the whole world seems designed to pull us towards instant gratification and shiny distractions?
Right. And this is where we have to tackle that huge misconception. The idea that success requires you to feel motivated all the time.
Yeah, I need to feel inspired before I start.
Exactly. Ma is crystal clear on this. Motivation is unreliable. It's temporary. You absolutely cannot depend on it for the long haul.
He has an analogy for this too, right?
It does. He describes motivation as being like a shower.
Like a shower. How so?
It feels good, right? You probably need it daily.
Wow.
But it washes off almost immediately.
Okay.
You can wake up one morning feeling totally energized, ready to conquer the world, and the very next day feel completely deflated, confused, overwhelmed, full of doubt. You just can't build consistent, years-long progress on such a fluctuating emotional state.
So it's not motivation, then what?
Discipline. Discipline is the foundation. Discipline, Ma says, is like muscle.
How is it like muscle?
You build it slowly, over time, through consistent, repetitive action. It might hurt a bit at first, but once you build that muscle, it stays strong, it's operational, it works even when your feelings, your motivation fail you.
That's a key difference.
Huge. Ma openly admits when he was starting Alibaba, he was rarely motivated in the way we think of it. He was often scared, confused, broke, doubted everything constantly.
But he still did the work.
But he showed up. Why? Because he had discipline. He just repeated the cycle. Work, fail, learn, adjust, work again every single day, regardless of how we felt.
Okay, so building that discipline muscle.
Right.
This is where we have to confront probably the most common self-sabotage excuse out there.
Yes.
I'm just not a morning person, or I'm too tired after work.
Right. The sources basically say success doesn't care if you're a morning person, a night owl, or an afternoon goat. It just doesn't care. But discipline cares about consistency.
So what's the practical advice here? Just force it.
The specific tactical instruction is actually quite brilliant, I think. It reframes it as a battle. You must wake up before your excuses do.
Wake up before your excuses. Explain that.
Think of it as a psychological fight, not just biology. If that little voice in your head, the voice of inertia, the one craving comfort, the one saying, just hit snooze, if that voice starts whispering at 8 a.m., you need to be already awake, preferably actively working on something important, by 7:30 a.m. If your laziness usually kicks in hard around 9 a.m., you need to shut it down preemptively by being productive at 8 a.m.
So it's about beating the excuses to the punch.
Exactly. The goal is tactical. You have to show your own mind who's actually in charge. Prove, through action, that your long-term goals matter more than your short-term desire for comfort.
Okay, building individual discipline is one thing, but even the strongest discipline can get worn down by a bad environment, right?
Absolutely critical point. Which brings us to the analysis of your peer circle. Your friends, the people you spend the most time with, your immediate circle of influence. They inevitably serve as either a cage that holds you back or a catalyst that pushes you forward.
A cage or a catalyst? Strong words?
They are. You have to look around really honestly at the people you spend most of your quality time with. What are the conversations usually about?
Are they talking about investments, business ideas, sharing knowledge, discussing solutions to problems?
Or are they mostly stuck in that negative loop? Gossip, complaining about the boss or the system, cynicism about anyone who seems to be getting ahead, pulling each other down towards mediocrity.
That fits the latter.
Then, according to Ma's framework, that circle is effectively your cage. It literally confines your thinking. It limits your ambition to whatever the group deems acceptable. It normalizes mediocrity and makes complaining feel like productive conversation.
It reinforces staying on the downward part of the escalator.
Exactly. That negative peer group acts like a powerful brake, keeping you stuck or even pulling you down faster.
The sources warn against specific types too, right?
Yeah, things like friends who constantly encourage financial recklessness, those who prioritize partying over any kind of preparation or learning, and maybe most importantly, those who constantly maintain a scarcity mindset.
The idea that success is just luck, or only for certain people.
Right. The belief that it's not really available to you through discipline and hard work, that mindset is contagious and absolutely deadly to ambition.
Okay, so identifying a negative circle is one thing, but what do you do? These might be people you care about. You can't just cut everyone off.
True. And Ma offers a very practical, almost tunning solution. You don't necessarily need dramatic confrontations or rudeness. The art is simply be busy.
Just be busy.
Use the fact that you are now proactively using your time for growth as your complete and honest defense. Your time, as we've established, is incredibly valuable, incredibly expensive, so treat it that way.
So when friends invite you to things that clearly don't align with this critical growth phase, the time that should be spent on those boring foundational tasks,
you simply reply, honestly, sorry, can't tonight. I'm busy learning Python for that side project I mentioned, or no thanks, really need to focus. I'm attending an online workshop on digital marketing trends.
You don't need elaborate excuses. The truth that you're prioritizing learning is enough.
It's enough. Your discipline becomes your reason.
And the sources promise a long-term payoff for this potentially awkward phase.
Oh, absolutely. It's profound. Your friends might laugh now. They might not get your urgency. They might not see the preparation gap you're trying to bridge. They might call you boring, maybe antisocial, maybe obsessed.
Okay.
But wait 5 years. The prediction is they will be the ones coming to you, asking, genuinely curious, wow, how did you get here? How did you become so successful? What was your secret?
And the answer won't be some magic formula.
Your simple, honest, powerful reply will be, remember all those weekends I said I was busy? Busy learning, writing, practicing, preparing? That was the secret. I just prioritized the boring work then because I knew it was building the foundation for the exciting future I wanted. It's cause and effect. #tag outro.
So we kind of circle back now, don't we? Back to the idea of just starting, which paralyzes so many people.
Yeah, the I'll start Monday syndrome, or when I have more time, or when I feel motivated. Exactly. We wait for the perfect conditions, the right feeling, enough money, the stars to align perfectly.
And the core philosophy here just cuts right through that. It's crystal clear. There is no perfect time to start. There's only today, right now. And today is just far too valuable, far too expensive to waste on waiting or on trivial stuff.
Which leads us to this final tool, maybe, an accountability mechanism you can use immediately. It's called the future self-test.
The future self-test. Okay, how does that work?
Take a moment, right now even. Close your eyes if it helps. Visualize the version of you 5 years from now that you want to be, the successful version.
Okay, healthier, wealthier, wiser.
Yeah, more competent, having achieved that freedom, that goal you're currently craving. Really picture that person.
Got it.
Now imagine that successful future self can somehow look back and see exactly what you are doing right now in this very hour. Would they be proud of you? Would that future self approve of how you're spending this precious, finite time? Are you watching cat videos again? Or are you taking an action, however small, that moves you towards becoming them?
That's a powerful check. Your future self is essentially cheering you on, hoping you make the right choices now.
Exactly. You owe it to that future version of yourself not to let them down by choosing easy distractions today.
Now, one final point from the sources. While all this talk of discipline and urgency is serious, life itself shouldn't be taken so seriously that you lose your humanity along the way.
Yes, that's important too. Ma actually encourages finding joy in the process, laughing, especially at your own mistakes and failures, enjoying the journey, even dancing occasionally.
Didn't he say something like dance like a confused chicken?
I believe he did. The point is, you can be, and maybe should be, both funny and focused, happy and hungry for growth. They aren't mutually exclusive. Seriousness about goals doesn't require a grim personality.
So even if you're broke today, confused, struggling, the key is just to be busy getting better. Because the ultimate danger isn't failure or poverty even.
No. The most dangerous state in life, Ma concludes, is simply staying the same. Especially when the world around you is changing at lightning speed. Stagnation is the real enemy.
So the choice really is to stop making excuses and start making progress. Using those 24 hours with discipline, with focus, with intent.
So the question for you listening right now is, what will you do with the time left in this day? Are you going to keep consuming drama written by other people? Or are you going to start writing your own, more powerful story? Are you going to scroll endlessly looking for a quick hit of entertainment? Or are you going to study intentionally to build real leverage for your future?
Remember that mantra, the quote that really sums up this whole deep dive. It captures both the harsh reality and the incredible promise of delaying gratification.
Today is hard. Tomorrow is harder. But the day after tomorrow is beautiful.
Most people die on tomorrow evening.
Don't die on tomorrow, my friend. Live for the beautiful future. Live for that freedom. It's earned through sweat, discipline, and yes, the consistent, relentless prioritization of those boring foundational tasks.
A lot to think about.
Indeed. And maybe as you step away from this deep dive, ready to apply these ideas, consider this one final provocative thought to mull over. If true, lasting success really does come primarily from the disciplined repetition of those deeply unexciting, boring things, the writing, the reading, the practicing, the saving, the coding, whatever it is for you. What specific, deeply unexciting, repetitive task are you currently avoiding right now? The one you know holds the absolute, undeniable key to the freedom and success you crave.
What's that one boring thing you keep putting off?
That's your starting line, right there.
Thanks to Alex and Sandra for hosting today's episode. Catch you in the next one.